everybody and welcome to this Cookalong. My name is Rose. I hope I'm in the right direction, but you'll tell me very soon if I'm not. Tonight we're going to be making a Chicken Chilli Con Carne. It's interesting, that title, because carne means meat and we are putting the chicken in as well. So anyway, whatever it is, it's a chicken dish. So we're going to be starting in a few minutes, waiting for people to connect, and I'll go through maybe the ingredients. It's a very simple recipe tonight. I mean, honestly, this stainless steel bowl is going to do all the work for me. What I have here is just very few ingredients, the chicken, and I chose thigh fillets because I think they're tastier. And I've got one capsicum that I chopped into little pieces, the beans, half a tin of tomatoes, one onion, the spices that are all here, and some garlic, and a few bits and pieces. So what I thought I'd show you as well is how I just make a guacamole. I don't use a recipe. I just put a few ingredients in and I just taste, and if it's good, it's good. This is how I do my cooking. So just waiting for all of you to connect. I want to know who's cooking along and also where you're watching from. We're getting now into winter, it's a bit darker, so we can start cooking things that are, you know, a little bit more hearty, I would say. So I'm going to start with the Cook Expert, and then we'll go on to the food processor while this is cooking. There's also a surprise, so I'll talk to you about that when we have a little bit of time to talk. So I'm going to be starting now. So opening the lid. Oops. Well, you know, that wasn't very fast. So I'm going to be putting my garlic and onion just in the stainless steel bowl, just like that. I'm keeping the cap on and closing the lid, and I'm going to select okay, we got it. I'm going to select Expert, and it's on 5-minute on speed 3. I don't need a temperature, so what I'll do is I'll just highlight the blade and we'll just go to press auto, and we'll increase, where is it? We will increase the speed to 13, which is the chopping speed. So that took a few seconds, and you can see I didn't do anything. I put the whole onion, I didn't cut it in corners. It's done a fabulous job. So we're just going to just use a spatula just to bring everything down. And then to the onion, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Gets into your eyes. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm just measuring this for you. Otherwise, I just pour the olive oil in. Okay, and we'll stay on Expert. We'll just increase the temperature to about 100 degrees. And I will soften the onion. I'm going to open the lid because I want you to see how fast it's going to be cooking. So of course, decrease the speed very, very fast. And then we'll keep it to 5 minutes, and I'll just add the temperature and we'll go to 100 degrees. I can't do that really, you know, at the back of the machine because I'm just not good at it. But Vanessa's really, really good at it. And by the way, she's actually online, so if you've got any questions, please just feel free to ask her. She's there to answer all your questions. So am I, but she can answer questions that you have not even related to the recipe. So we're on 2A. You can actually slow it down if you want. You can go to the 1A. But I think that 2A is just going to be really, it's an adequate speed. Okay. So you can see already it's steaming. So it just took like literally a few seconds for the onion to start cooking. Now I'm going to soften the onion. I'm not going to brown it. I prefer that because I found that the onion then is sweeter. So we're going to let that cook for a few minutes. So in the meantime, what I can show you that I've put a few cherry tomatoes in here and some red onion. I have prepared an avocado, so I'm just going to put that in. So your ingredients are very, very simple. It's avocado, red onion, some tomato, and the juice of a lime, and just some salt and pepper. Even a little bit of chili if you want to. So here's my lid, and I'm just going to process that. Where am I? Oh yes, I can't see. Okay, so I'm stopping right here because I prefer to then pulse the ingredients. To bring it down a little bit. Just bring that down. And what I can do is put my lime juice in already, and I just take a fork and just twist the fork in the lime, and then I extract all the juice. Now is a good time also to put the salt and the pepper. So a little bit of salt, just like that, and some pepper. Some pepper. All right, before I continue, I'm just going to open up the onion and then just bring it down. It's going well. It's got a few more minutes and it'll be ready. Go. And that. Okay, I think that's enough. There's a little piece of avocado there. I have to admit that it wasn't completely ripe, which is a mistake because, you know, I should have absolutely bought the avocados a few days ago and not on the day of the demo. But, you know, you just learn. All right, so that's that. And I'm just going to prepare it and put it on in my dish here. This will be for later. Okay, that is done. Are there any questions already or not? Not yet.
We have 30
Okay.
people in the room, so
30 people, okay.
he's very busy cooking.
There you go. And so I'm preparing what I will be serving with the chicken.
Susan asked, what are you making? She has joined
Ah, you just joined. It's a chicken chili con carne. So that's it. So that's the sides ready. A little bit of coriander. So there you go. So that's ready. So you can serve that with rice. You can serve it with these corn chips. You can serve it with any kind of salsa that you prefer to make. And what else? Rice, little taco shells if you want, little tortillas. I plan to make some today, but I just didn't have the time because I chose to make hot cross buns. Anyway, I'm going to be stopping that because I think it's enough. A few seconds won't make a difference. So you see that's nice and soft. And I'm going to be adding my other ingredients. So let me take a new spatula. Okay, so the next step is to add the chicken, all of it, just like that. All of it. And I think maybe a little bit more olive oil. Just a little bit. And then we're going to be cooking that on 2A at 120 degrees for 5 minutes. So we're on 2A and we're going to change the time to 5 minutes. Oops, that goes very fast, eh? 5 minutes, and I'm going to go to 120 degrees. That's it. Press auto, and we're done. So I know that Vanessa has actually demonstrated quite a few of our attachments, and the one that I don't think we've showed that to you is the citrus press. So I'll show you how that works. It's so simple and so straightforward. So all it is, you take your food processor, here's the attachment. You just place it on top of your bowl. You have 2 cones, one for lemons, one for oranges. And you just place that on top, just like that. So now I've got a couple of oranges here. And a good idea is actually before you start juicing your citrus, to actually take some, yes, exactly, the zest of it off. And you can collect it and place it in the freezer. So this is what I do often. I just wipe my oranges, or I wash them, or the lemons, whatever. I just zest them and then I freeze the zest. Now I believe that there's a new blade which is a zester, and that's just come out. I don't have it yet, otherwise I would have demonstrated it to you. It's also very good for ginger and grating, maybe also garlic possibly. So that'll be for the next demo, possibly Vanessa. Okay. So I'm just going to cut up some oranges. And all we do, we just push it on, press auto, which is, it's in a different place here. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so fast. Okay, stop that.
Let's have a look at those oranges. Size.
Beautifully juiced. And so quickly. I'll put that in a little glass. So as simple as that. It's just a bit stuck there for some reason.
Chicken's going very nicely.
Yes, it is going nicely. So we'll come back to that later. Got it. All right. It was a little bit stiff. Probably because I haven't used it for that long. I'll just get a glass. And here is the orange juice. I could have made a little bit more, but basically it's terribly, terribly easy. It's just another thing that we need to remember is to rinse the bowl immediately, because it's citrus. It might affect, you know, the transparent bowl, and you don't want your bowl to get cloudy. So just give it a rinse straight away. That's it. So we can throw that away, make some space. And that's that. Having a look at the chicken. I'm just going to bring everything down. And you know, chicken releases quite a bit of water when it cooks. So keep your cap off while you're cooking the chicken, and I think that's good enough for me. So I'm just going to be adding the rest of the ingredients. So cumin, paprika, chili flakes. Cumin, yep, two teaspoons of each. So 2 teaspoons of cumin. 2 teaspoons. And then the paprika. 2 teaspoons of that as well.
Says your hair looks nice.
Oh, thank you.
And Catherine asks, is the new blade called the S?
The new blade meaning the grating blade, the zester.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I've only seen it online. I haven't seen it in the flesh. But have a look at it on the website.
To be answered in the next installment.
Yes. So come on, 2 teaspoons. Sometimes with the humidity, just it's just a bit more difficult. All right, so that's done. And do you like chili? Because you're going to be eating that.
Chili.
You like chili? Okay.
Not too much chili.
Not too much. Half a teaspoon?
Sounds good.
Half a teaspoon. Chili flakes. Oops, no, that's too much. Like that?
Yeah.
Is that good? Okay, you can always add, but to take out is pretty difficult. All right, so we've got that. And I reckon we're going to put everything in. Capsicum, tomatoes, and kidney beans. Capsicum. Now this is half a tin of tomatoes. You'll see it'll be quite liquid in there. So I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll just pick up the flesh rather and leave the juice in here. I can always add the juice, but I think I'm just going to use the flesh for the moment because I do not want too much liquid in the food. So this is what I've done.
Is smoked paprika you using?
So, oh yes, smoked paprika. Sorry, I forgot to mention. So then I'm just going to pour the beans in. These are black beans. And then we just give it a mix with a spatula quickly. And look, it's already looking good. It's not going to take 15 minutes, this, not at all. So we're just going to get going. Oops. By the way, the spatula, you know, you can actually separate the top and the bottom. It nearly stayed in the food. All right. So then I think I'm just going to add some salt in here. And pepper as well. It's always a good idea to taste the food. I've always been told a good chef, I'm not a chef, I'm not a chef, but a good chef tastes the food, has to taste the food. All right, my lid is here.
That's what I've been doing on all these years. Taste the food.
So I'm going to stay on 0 at 100 degrees for 15 minutes, but we will not need that at all. So we're going down to 0. That means no blade. And then 120, I'm just going to take that down to 100. I think it's enough. We don't need to go 120. That's it. And then we're just going to increase the time. I'm going to put 15 minutes there, but how many minutes are there? 40. Oh no, let's go this way. Okay. Too fast, this machine. Too fast. Okay, done. Let's go. And keep.
Tanya was asking, was it kidney beans? Did you say black beans?
Yeah, yes, red kidney beans. Did I say black? No, it's red. It's fagioli rossi. This one. Oh, we just put seconds on. I was misled by my cameraman. Camera lady. All right, so let's go and add some time. Okay, now we write. Okay. Good. That's good. So now I'll talk to you about this brand new book that's just come out. And it's called The Cook Expert, Breads, Brioche and Pastries. Now there's 70 recipes in here, and it's especially made for the stainless steel bowl. And I can tell you that I've tested every single of the 70 recipes. It was a huge job, but I had to do it just to make sure that, you know, like everything was, you know, okay, I guess, you know.
Especially for the Australian audience.
Yes, especially for the Australian audience. So I'm going to go through the book very slowly. I'm just going to move away from here so that Sherry can see. So this is what the book looks like. So we've got baking bread at home. We've got breads of the world. You'll see as I go through specialty breads, pastries. It's absolutely amazing, and I have discovered and learned so much in testing all those recipes. First, it tells you about all the different flours that you can use, and you know, and also the yeast and how to maybe, you know, substitute the, you know, the normal yeast with rapid rise or with fresh yeast, and it tells you everything. So you'll see here the yeast, the proofing and rising, and the beauty of this machine is that you can do your mix and knead the bread in there and then let it rise in the bowl. Just put the temperature up to 37 degrees. Some people like to have the temperature a bit lower, but I like 37 degrees, and you just set the time, an hour, an hour and a half. You can also look to see if it's risen to the top, then you know it's ready. I mean, it's all, you know, common sense. So, okay, so the appetizers and snacks. So we've got the little breadsticks, and they come out really beautifully, and the explanations are really, really good. If you want them a bit softer, a bit harder, it tells you what to do. Then we've got all these beautiful breads. Like the fougasse is one of my favorite, very, very easy and so tasty, and there's some variations on the theme, and I have done only the olive one, because that's what I like. Then we go on to ham and cheese buns. Those were absolutely delicious, very, very good. Then we've got the surprise loaf, and that's sort of like the English style of, you know, the French way to do these little English sandwiches, I guess. You know, those little finger sandwiches?
Yes.
So this is all done in the one loaf.
Cut up small.
Yes. So that's that. Then we've got these buns that were absolutely delicious as well. The garlic bread, look at that. Doesn't it look great?
Superb.
Yes. Then we go on to the brioche, and brioche is of course one of my favorites, and there's so many variations on the theme. That's the normal one.
I think brioche is sweet bread for those who don't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So then we have that brioche de Nanterre, which to me was a little bit harder, so not as soft as the normal brioche. This,
Catherine says
Yes.
that maybe she needs this. She's very rarely successful with her bread making techniques. Or bread baking.
well,
This makes it very easy, doesn't it?
Yes, it makes it very, very easy. And you've got the levels of difficulty on the page as well. You know, with baking, especially breads and pastries and things like that, you need a lot of patience. You really need to be relaxed and, you know, and okay, it's okay if you have to do it overnight or let it rise, etc. You just need to be patient.
Una asks you, Rose, do you use fresh or rapid rise dried yeast when you make
Well,
bread?
when I was testing these recipes, I used both. I used what the recipe told me to use. That's what I did, and it's very, very easy to find fresh yeast. I know that the Harris Farm has got it. That's where I got it from. And you could also go to bakeries and ask them if you can buy a little bit of their fresh yeast, and like, most of the time they say yes. So this is the brioche vendéenne, and that is one of my favorite. That was so delicious, and I just want everybody to try this one. So you need to score it in the center like that. It also shows you in the book, it tells you how to score the bread. If you're going, vertically, you're going to have a small opening of the bread, but if you're going on an angle, then you'll have a larger one. So it's very explanatory. Then we've got la brioche des rois in French, which is a circular one with a lovely pearl sugar. That's also delicious. Then the plated brioche, super simple. And then all sorts of other ones. Now that flaky brioche, also one of my favorite, takes forever, 17 hours and 30 minutes. But it's so worth it. It was delicious, really delicious.
17 hours to eat it too, and not 5 minutes.
No, anyway. Then we've got all these variations on the theme, and also some photos that, going through the steps. Then we've got a pull-apart brioche, which is like literally, it's cut in squares, and you put the squares one next to each other like that in a loaf tin, as you can see here. Can you see that? Yes. Okay. Then we go on to the breads, and there are a lot of breads. Sourdough bread, that's the recipe.
Does it matter if you don't use the dough hook?
No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. The dough hook is really, I think, useful when you actually have a bigger quantity of flour in the bowl. But otherwise, no. You can use the universal blade, no problem. So then we've got all these breads, the baguette. This is called an épi. Then we've got the twisted one and breads. Okay, breads. Lots of breads. And more breads. Are you following?
I am.
Yes. Yep.
Where do you get all these types of seeds?
Well, you're just going to have to just shop around. I mean, there are shops, now that sell a lot of grain and flours. There's one in Bondi Junction. There's several now. I mean, it's becoming like really popular, where you buy all your nuts and your flours and your grains. So it's not that difficult to find. We've also when we were looking at these recipes, we also, I think, simplified some of the ingredients because, you know, one can't find them here in Australia, but you can in France and Europe. You know. So we go on to the specialty breads now. Have a look. This is my recipe, I'm very happy to say. The soda bread, and it's very, very, very easy. So no yeast, it takes like literally 45 minutes and it's just baking time. So this is the soda bread. Then we've got olive oil bread, vegan bread, gluten-free breads, the burger buns. If you do that recipe, it makes enormous buns. So I suggest make 8 or 6, but not 4. Then the pain beignet, which is a French specialty as well. And then it shows you how to score the breads, what you can do, all the lovely designs that you can make.
So Mel says she buys all her flowers and seeds from a Middle Eastern shop in Perth.
Oh, that's lucky. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure here as well. We just have to do our research properly, you know. So focaccia. The bao buns, fantastic. I made those, well, you know, you steam them and it came out really, really well. I can tell you about all my experiences. Okay, all these breads, pita bread, perla bread. That's one of my least favorite. I didn't understand it probably. I think it's Swedish or something. Yeah, it's Swedish. So I just don't know how they eat that. Cheese naan, tortillas, panettone. I've made that a few times. That was so successful. Just remember though that to use a 6-inch tin for that, because it's quite a small amount of ingredients. Stollen, that wasn't my favorite, but it's good. That marisette is so nice that you actually have to boil them and then bake them. Then we've got the bagel that also turned out well. All the variations on the bagel. Then comes the pastries, my favorite. Huh? Yeah, no. So the Vienna bread, you can see what it does. Apple turnovers, fantastic, very, very good. Then we've got the croissant pain au chocolat, and that, you know, a lot of patience, and you have to actually understand how to do all the layers, and it has a page here to explain. You know, it's always good to look at photos and also go on YouTube to find out the method. Crumpets, that's a bit ordinary. Muffins, ordinary. The citrus gingerbread loaf, that's what we call in French a pain d'épices. It's just got spices in that. Very delicious as well. Cinnamon rolls, everybody loves them. Brioche buns, easy. And this is little raisin, you know, like snails, I guess. And that was also delicious. The sacristain, which are twists, are delicious, quite complicated, as you can see the difficulty here, and have to be eaten on the day. It doesn't keep well. It's crispy on the day.
Catherine says you've sold the book to her.
Yes, absolutely. It's a
Sold
fabulous
it to me too.
So scones, that's ordinary. Little donuts, delicious. Chouquette, also very easy and delicious, also to be eaten on the day. Swiss brioche, that is fabulous as well. So good. Anything with custard. And then of course you've got your index. So this is our new book, Breads, Brioche and Pastries. And I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite. Not because I've worked on it, but I like it. Okay, so let's have a look at the chicken now, because we're nearly finished. You can open the lid, give it a turn, and it is cooked. For me, it's cooked. You can see that it's cooked. We don't need to wait for the extra time. What is the extra time now? Oh, it doesn't even show. Yeah. So let's have a look how much time, but another 2 minutes. So we did well. not necessary to wait for the 2 minutes. So what I've prepared earlier is just a little bit of rice, because I'm going to feed my cameraman, so not with that, I'm just plating that. And then she can eat it. So you'll see here, come Sherry, come have a look. There's quite a bit of liquid here, so I'm going to actually just lift it out of the liquid.
But the liquid's good on rice.
The liquid's good on rice, sure, but we don't want to soak the rice immediately. So I'll just plate it in this way, Sherry, and then you'll be able to. So there you go. So here we are, little bit, sorry, not the whole thing.
It looks superb.
There we go, and then
Unfortunately, you can't smell it. It smells superb.
so there you go. The guacamole could have been a little bit greener, but this is what happens when you do 2 things or 3 things at the same time. Well, here you have it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a look at the website if you want the book, if you want the new blade, have a look, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Rose.
Bye.